Oh, dearie me. Well, oh, where do we where do we start with that? I, it's inexcusable. These lot have just been beaten 9-0, and yeah, I know they'll be looking for a pragmatic approach, and they'll be buzzing with the 0-0. But fuck me, it's terrible. It's terrible football. You wait until the last 8 minutes to make a change. Pedence came on and played just in front of, well, just in between the midfield and attack, which I could have told you after 5 minutes is exactly what we needed. It doesn't help not having a functioning number 9 up front. Jimenez was abysmal, but you can't just pin the blame on him. The patterns of play are just, they're turgid, they're tepid. If you could win football games while playing the ball in an arc across a team's back five, then we'd have already won the league. But we never play vertically. We never play through the thirds. It's just side to side to side. And I get that you have to shift the ball from left to right to try and make those openings to play vertically, but it just doesn't happen. We just haven't got the person to do it. Well, we have, but they're just not doing it. Johnny has been awful since the start of the season. I don't know why he keeps getting played. I think Nuri came on and shows you what happens when you have a natural left back or left wing back who's naturally left footed. That's what he can do. Him and Pedence probably our best players tonight. But I don't like calling for the manager's head. I've learnt my lesson. I learnt my lesson with Nuno, but there's only so much rope you can give Bruno. It's getting to the point now where I am seriously considering whether he's the right man for the job, and I don't think I'm alone in that. And I want nothing more for him to succeed, because that would mean Wolverhampton Wanderers are winning football games. But I don't think you can judge a manager on the last season's form unless the problems are exactly the same, and we're a mirror image of last season. We've committed more members forward. We're playing a 3 in midfield, which looked lost tonight, and we look even more blunt. I don't know how to fix it. The players look like they're waiting for a change, in my personal opinion, which again from their point of view isn't good enough. But it'll be interesting to see what happens on Saturday, because if Southampton do go a goal up early, boy, that place will turn, and we know it will. We've all been there where it has, so I hope that's not the case. I hope they can get the first win on Saturday, but if they don't, could be curtains like these.
Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0, and what can you say about that? Just garbage, absolutely garbage. I'm lost words. I'm just lost words about how bereft of confidence and ideas and ability this team has got. You know, we've spent £100 million on this squad in the summer, and it's just, we're feeble, we're weak, we just don't create a lot. Honestly, we're about as useful as a newborn baby trying to eat a 12-ounce sirloin steak from Miller and Carter. With that toothless, it's fucking shit. Raul Jimenez, I said it on the pod this week, the bloke almost died a couple of years ago, so I don't really want to go too harsh on him. But if he was a fucking racehorse, he'd have been put down months ago. He's not a Premier League footballer anymore. He doesn't lead the line, doesn't move, doesn't offer anything, doesn't hold the ball up, and he just moans all game. Awful. Absolutely dreadful. He offers us absolutely nothing. As soon as we can get Sasha in, he's got to start for me on Saturday, because none of them deserve to be playing on the weekend. None of them have done enough tonight. I mean, that Bournemouth team got shit 9 past them. Granted, it was Liverpool, but we didn't even really threaten Neto. I mean, every time the cross come in, he was flapping at balls. He looked so shit. We didn't even test him. Again, another game we haven't tested the goalkeeper. Same again on the weekend against Pope. Same again against Lloris. We just don't work the opposition goalkeepers enough. And then you've got I'm trying to put into words how I feel about it all at the minute. I think that Pedro Neto's another one. Honestly, I'd get on the phone to fucking Arteta, Edu, whoever it is, and say, look, if you want him and give us 40, 50 million quid, you can have him. Because again, he's another one. Just moans, put his arms on his waist, just fucking whinging. Actually, I've not seen him beat a man. Again, all game. He's just fucking flitting inside, floating inside, doing a step over, passing it back inside. Garbage. And like, even, you know, for me, I thought Nunes was bright in the first half. I ain't going to have a go at him. He's just coming to the team. But, second half, a massive drop-off. I don't know if it's just the intensity of having so many games and so many days has, killed him a little bit. But, he came off, and the fucking corners as well. Jesus Christ. They're embarrassing. Like, fucking Ruben Neves doing his best Peter Kay impression, volleying it out fucking for a throw-in. I mean, granted, again, the ball wasn't great for him, but it's just shit. It's just so bad. Like, for me, I haven't got an answer as to who should come in instead of Bruno Lage. I really haven't got the answer. But if we don't win on the weekend, he's under massive, massive pressure going into Liverpool and Man City. Massive. Because there's no way on God's green earth we're getting anything out of them 2 games the way it's been going at the moment. Utter wank.
So, Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0. Probably predictable. Probably all saw it coming, unfortunately. Another point, I suppose, but poor Bournemouth side. Obviously, shipped 9 at the weekend, and we never even looked like scoring. This is a trouble. Had a few decent chances, I suppose. Jimenez putting one wide from a one-on-one. Really not sure what he was trying to do. He had a few chances today. Obviously, that was the best of the bunch, but he had a few today and just never felt confident he was going to stick it in the back of the net. I'm not sure he's the person to be leading the line anymore. Obviously, new striker coming in today. You'd have to think he's got to start on Saturday. Hopefully give us a different option in the box. Obviously, big, tall lad. Hopefully get on the end of some crosses. I mean, there's a few times today. Johnny, obviously, from a corner. But I don't know what he's doing. He's got away from his man well, effectively got a free header. And he's just nodded it straight wide. Defence played okay. Didn't really have anything to do. Didn't really understand taking Núñez off. I think Podence and Adama are probably the substitution everyone wanted Bruno to make. And it was probably the right ones. I would have probably done the same. But probably would have kept Núñez off. Kept Núñez on. Matinho, I thought, actually had a good game, but he probably would have been the one to make way. Aït-Nouri did far more in the 20 minutes he was on, half an hour maybe, than Johnny did in the whole rest of the game for me. So it's got to be Aït-Nouri and Semedo on Saturday. But we've just got to stick the ball in the back of the net. I know it sounds simple, but it really is as simple as that. We just need a goal to come off someone's ankle, back, anything. Just to stick the ball in the back of the net, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. You've got no confidence in us actually scoring a goal. But saying that, we have scored a couple this season, and when we have, I mean, we've took the lead at Leeds and end up losing 2-1, and took the lead on Sunday and end up drawing 1-1. So even when we're scoring first, we're not seeing the game out. There's got to be questions being asked of Bruno, I think, to be honest, and I'll probably get slated for that, but he's got all these quality players at his disposal. People keep saying need to be backed. He's been backed. What's going to happen now? I understand perhaps it takes time for the team to gel, get him playing the way he wants to play, but with the players that are out there today, they should be more than good enough to beat this Bournemouth side. It's really not good enough at the moment, and Saturday now turns into a massive game. I think after that, probably not in this order, but there's City, Liverpool, West Ham and Chelsea, which I think we're going to struggle to get any points out of at all, especially with how we're playing. And if we don't beat Southampton on Saturday, we then can start to cut adrift. And that's really when you've got to start to worry. So fingers crossed we'll deliver on Saturday. I mean, it'd probably be like Wolves to lose that and then go win the next 4. But we've seen them do it before. It's the joy of being a Wolves fan. But yeah, fingers crossed for a better performance Saturday and hope to see a few goals.
So it's happened again, and who would have guessed it? Wolves draw 0-0 with Bournemouth on the South Coast on a Wednesday night, with 12 coaches of Wolves fans going up to go and watch it. And they're the ones I feel sorry for today, purely because there was just nothing until the 80th minute to shout about, to cheer about. It was abject, it was slow, it was pedestrian, it was boring. And it's been the case for the entire season and the previous handful of games before the end of last season. I don't know where to go from here. It's baffling to me because I don't know who to pin the blame on anymore. It's because the last 15 minutes showed me that we can create chances and we can find it's just the cutting edge that we're missing, and we can create them. But the first 80 minutes also showed me that there are no patterns to the play as soon as we hit the final third. We're very, very good at passing it around the box and not laying a glove on Bournemouth's goalkeeper or any opposition goalkeeper, and we're very good at that. But the moment we hit the final third, it's like all the players' minds go blank. everything they've worked on in training, if they have been working on it, goes out the window. And it's passed around until someone's got the bollocks to have a pot shot from 30 yards. If it hits the player, it bounces back out and we recycle and we try again. But it's boring. It's just boring at this point. And I think we're either a Kaladzic type striker, someone who wants to score goals. We're either a Kaladzic away from goals and from securing some points on the table, or we are a new manager away with new tactics, fresh ideas, and he can work his plan with this squad, because this squad is capable of getting top 8. I refuse to hear anything else. I think we've got one of the best midfields in Europe. I think we've got... Defence looks fine. Defence looks really sturdy. I can't see, even against Liverpool and City coming up, I don't think we'll have too many problems, apart from Haaland, of course, but I think I'm quite confident with the defence. It's just that front three. We've got a problem with Neto and Guedes purely because I think they both play their best football off the left-hand side now. Neto looks his best when he's hitting the byline. Guedes looking at best when he cuts inside. So finding a kind of a system that accommodates both of their styles of play is really proving an issue. And Jimenez today was awful. I've tried to back him, but he's just been dreadful since his injury, and it's no fault of his own, but he has been dreadful, and it's like playing with 10 men, and I can't excuse the misses that he got the opportunities today. He had 3 opportunities that a fit 18, 19 season Jimenez would have scored with ease, and he missed them all today. And I had absolutely no confidence that even one of them was going in. So yeah, what to do? Sasha Kaladzic has to start on Saturday. I think Podence showed enough in 15 minutes to prove that he has to start on Saturday. And I'd even give Traoré a run out as well, because Traoré looked good when he came on too. But yeah, too slow. Defence was good. Sarr had nothing to do. Kilman and Collins mopped up with Solanke as much as they needed to. Johnny was good defensively, shocking going forward. Aït-Nouri looked all right when he came on. Semedo, unfortunate to be taken off. I presume that's a little knock and they just wanted to be careful. Neves, too defensive, sat as a quarterback again. Núñez, subbed off too early, but he's been playing in this awkward position as a second striker where he's not able to do the things that we've been missing, to pick up the ball deep and run forward and break the lines. Moutinho, pedestrian today, can't say he offered anything apart from just a standard pass around the sides. So, yeah, shocking, but we move, I guess. It will be Southampton Saturday. We'll see what happens, see if we can pick up our first Premier League win. But it feels like we've been waiting a long, long time. Cheers, lads.
I'll just say this now from the start. It was a bore fest again. It's just the same shit, just a different game. Every single time I come in with a bit of faith thinking, we could show something a little bit different. We've got all these new players. When's it finally going to click? Bruno consistently keeps telling us that it's going to click. But it's the fact that he's told us for months now it's going to click, leading us on to a run of form where we've not won in fucking 12 games. Within those 12 games, in all of those games, I can't name one where we actually looked like we were going to win the game and it felt like we was going to take the game by the scruff of the neck and get those 3 points. To this point now where Bournemouth, who are lacking any sort of confidence, just off the back of a 9-0 thrashing, sacking their manager during the week, it was always going to be a banana skin. But I felt like if we was to go at Bournemouth, considering, their defence probably isn't in the best of confidence, we didn't even lay a glove on them. And this isn't even, we're not even talking about, this is a good Bournemouth side. This is a Bournemouth side that everyone has predicted that are going to be down. Player for player, we shit completely all over Bournemouth. And on that pitch today, it showed that those players gave more of a shit than what our players did. I just don't know where Bruno can go from here now. We're in a position now where the signs are getting worse and worse and worse, week upon week. You look at our performances and you look at the upcoming fixtures, where is the next win going to come from? If he doesn't win Saturday, then I can see Top Molineux going really, really toxic. For me, today's result for me has just settled it. I want him gone. Plain and simple. He's not showing any signs that he's going to get any better, considering the calibre of squad that we've got. We're now playing the system that he wants. We've now got the players that he wants. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. He has to go. Plain and simple, Bruno Lage has to be sacked. Even when you look at the team selection, Johnny was absolutely abysmal on Saturday. So, of course, shock horror, Johnny has to play. Other than that, I thought, okay, fair enough. I don't want Jimenez to play. And today's performance kind of justifies that because Raul Jimenez was absolutely abysmal. And he is finished as a Wolves player. And after, I think it was Arsenal away, where I completely lost it with him, he has actually got worse since that. You could probably handpick 1 or 2 games at a push where he's actually made a massive impact. Today, he was absolutely abysmal. And the way that he's playing, he's a championship striker right now. And yet he's supposed to... Everyone had a lot of hope coming into the pre-season. A lot of hope into this season, thinking we've got this version of Raul Jimenez back. And he just does not look like he's scoring. His link-up play is shocking. And the forward line just doesn't seem to be working well because of him just being in the way and almost playing everywhere apart from the position that he's meant to be playing in. I thought in the first half we were boring. We were absolutely boring. We didn't show anything. We really didn't show anything. Apart from Neto having, that one opportunity which went miles wide. I don't really remember us doing anything. I thought Kilman and Collins were brilliant today. I felt they led by example. I thought Semedo, he'd done really, really well. He was getting in the ball really well. I thought Nunes looked good. Matinho, I kind of didn't really notice him in the game an awful lot. And to be fair, Sarr didn't really have to do an awful lot. And the second half comes along and we got worse. And I thought the first half performance was bad. The second half got even worse. And again, just Bournemouth wanted it so much more than us. And so many weeks have been said, like, opposition teams seem to want it more against us than we want it against them. The problem lies with the management. As much as, individual misses will always happen. Raul Jimenez's opportunity at the end, the goal line clearance from Podence. We showed that for 10 minutes over the course of a game. And in that 10 minutes, we actually looked like we were going to do something, which makes you think, why the fuck did we not show that from the first whistle? Try and show this intensity, show that we're going to go at them, going to create all these opportunities. But it just felt too late. And it just felt like that there wasn't enough time for Podence to make an impact, even though I thought when he came on, he did do very well. Adama to make an impact, who kind of was really frustrating again. Didn't really seem like he wanted to use his pace, but that's just my views on it. And Rayan Aït-Nouri came on, made an absolute difference, and was probably one of the star players. And you have to ask the question, why the fuck was he not starting to begin with? But you look at his substitutions, he brought the right players on, but again, he was bringing the wrong players off. I didn't think Nunes did an awful lot wrong to get substituted. And I thought Semedo, again, didn't really do an awful lot wrong to get substituted. They didn't look like there were any injuries. It looked more tactical. And the fact that he's gone walking out the tunnel as soon as that final whistle goes, he's spineless, plain and simple, he's spineless. He doesn't want to face the fans that made that journey over there today. It's kind of a big fuck you towards the ones that actually showed up, went there to watch us hopefully fucking get a result. And I don't know, I'm sorry for all the swearing, but it's just really frustrating. Like, I feel like I have to this is kind of my way of expressing it, but I don't want Bruno there Saturday. I think that we have to look elsewhere. And a lot of people will say, well, who's the exact name that you want? There will always be good managers out there. It's just about trying to find them. And there is more than just the Portuguese market that we can find to sign not just managers, but also players as well. Right, that's me out from Talking Wolves. Frustrated.
So Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0. Another game without a win, another game without a goal. And it really does look like now that the writing's on the wall for Bruno Lage. That was shocking again. And now we have to really start asking questions as to why it's so bad week in, week out now. Because we're 5 games in and we've got an informed Southampton team next. And then we've got the 2 best teams in the country in City and Liverpool. Like, what's going on at Wolves? Why can't they score? Why does it look like there are 11 strangers that have been put together? Actually, no, not 11 strangers. It looks like there's 6 strangers from the midfield to the attack, because the defence looks absolutely fine this season. It looks like it's solid. Because it had nothing to do tonight, really, but Collins, Kilman, Semedo, brilliant players, no problems with them at all. Aït-Nouri looked decent when he came on. But the front players, have no cohesion between them. They look like they've met today. Like, I don't understand. And I think that may just be down to the system. You have to ask questions now, totally about Wolves. They hit the bar in the first half, that was about it. In the second half, a few chances towards the end, Pedence's header, and the Jimenez one-on-one, who just looks a shadow of his former self. Like, let's be real here. Everyone in his first 2 years loved him to bits. I did, but since that injury, he has not been good. It's as simple as that. He has not been a good footballer since he came back from that injury. And I don't know, I think it's time to get Kalajdzic in straight away at the weekend, because he doesn't look like he's up to it anymore. It's just plain and simple. Guedes was quiet again tonight. Pedro Neto in the first half was poor, second half a little bit better, tried to make things happen, was direct. Pedence was good when he came on. I thought he should have started tonight. But you just have to ask a question. Why aren't Wolves scoring goals and why aren't Wolves winning games? If you go back to the end of last season, we've one win in 14, is it? That's sackable. Now, come on, I like Lage. I think I can see what he's trying to do. If you listen to the reaction I did against Tottenham and Leeds, you could see that I was quietly optimistic that this would all come together. But it doesn't look like it's going to. And then that's a concern. And then you have to start considering possible alternatives, because tonight was as drab as it gets. They were there for the taking. They were wounded, Bournemouth. Their manager had left them yesterday morning. They got battered 9-0 at the weekend in what was the most hopeless display ever. They are a terrible, terrible footballing team that will no doubt go down this season. And I can say that with 100% confidence. They're not good. But we look like we're going the same direction, because we didn't look much better than them. Serious questions have to be asked now. Wolves. Southampton on Saturday now is a must-win game. And if Bruno Lage doesn't win that, if Wolves don't win that, then they've got City and Liverpool next, Chelsea and West Ham after that. Wolves are in a relegation battle this season. And I think even the most optimistic fans couldn't have... Well, pessimistic fans, couldn't have expected a start to the season quite as poor as this. 2 goals in 5 games, no wins. It's really, really bad, and it doesn't look good for Wolves, and it doesn't look good for Lage. They've got Kalajdzic in. Let's see. Let's hope he can be the difference, because if he doesn't get a few goals, Wolves will go down. It's as simple as that. It looks like deadline day tomorrow. Might get a centre-back in, Jason Denayer, Craig Dawson, but of course, that's not going to get us a goal. Well, Dawson, maybe if you stuck him in the box, he might get his head in a couple of things, but that is really about it. It's just so flat, so bereft from Wolves. It's really, really, really poor. That's all you can say about it. And it's not been from a lack of investment from Fossen this summer. Maybe the timing of it hasn't been great, but Lage has had his chance now. Lage is in his last chance, I think. And this board are ruthless. They showed it in the past when we had Walter Zenga and Paul Lambert. They booted them both out the door. Nuno looked like it was mutual consent at the end, but he went as well. It looked like he was sacked, and I think Lage could really follow the same pattern as the rest of them, because this isn't looking good, and it doesn't look like it's going to click anytime soon. I hope to God it does, but it's not looking good. Really bad game. Bournemouth 0, Wolves 0.